Good morning. It's good to be able to chat with you again this morning and make some very significant announcements as we look toward the conclusion of our course. The discussion boards this week, I think, are really significant as it relates to you and your community. Now, I have lived in numerous settings, but I can tell you this, that if you want to have an impact upon your community, you're going to have to make some significant decisions about ministering with other churches within the community. One of the ways I did this in a community where I lived, we had a community Good Friday service that was part of the tradition of the community. So when they asked for volunteers to head it up, my hand went up quickly. I was willing to take on the leadership of that. And in that way, I could give it a strong evangelical flavor. I could take leadership, and Christ would be honored in that Good Friday service. And I did it for many, many years. But as it relates to working together, as meeting the needs of the poor, we had another way that we were able to do that. And that was the Salvation Army, the township supervisor who had a budget item about helping the needy, and as many churches as wanted to could put money into a common treasury which the police department oversaw, and they were able to ask questions, of course run a police check, and people who came off of the highway and discovered that the police department was where they needed to go, many of them turned right back on and got back on the highway because they had something they were seeking to hide. And then you need to critique the book from the chapter 2 and his perspective, because his community and your community are two different entities, and you need to understand that. We have some good reading, some unaccountable, but you're to do a little study on Acts 1:8 and what Jerusalem and Judea mean. And then, of course, you have the two assignments, the interview and the grant writing. Obviously, that's a supposed kind of thing, but it does give you a little bit of an idea of how you would go about producing a grant. Those are important things. But I have a much bigger issue. Oh, another smaller issue. You're going to start getting announcements to do evaluation of the course and of my teaching. I especially want to say your feedback is very, very important. It's highly valued, it's studied, it's critiqued. If you have specific ideas about the content of the course, you know I'm in the process of revising it. I would appreciate you sending an email to me directly. That way I can get it in an expedited way. Yesterday I began doing some in-depth work on that revision process, and your input is highly valued by me. I can tell you that, because I don't have all the answers. I don't have all the resources. I want that feedback. So please email me with those kind of things. I like, and they will be included, items in our projects, like the interview and the helping a needy person, those kind of things. You can rest assured that those will be included as we revise it. As I began looking at the final weeks of the course, I looked at the writing assignment for assignment number 6. I hate to write an article in the tone of that assignment. Therefore, in the written part of this announcement, I will have a written announcement that gives clarity to that assignment, but that you will write from a positive perspective. As it relates to the final test, final quiz, whatever it's called, Uh, I I hate to have my intelligence insulted by saying, go back and do this fifth grade level exercise, find the answer in the chapter and write it down here for me. And so I have given to you two questions that you probably will write a page and a half or two, or maybe a little more, on those two issues. Again, that will be in the written portion of the announcement. But you need to be certain that you know those two things are changed: the final test and the assignment number 6. So, God bless you as you wrap up things this week, and have a great day worshiping with God's people this weekend.